Good afternoon, everyone. The Lee County board meeting concerning the ordinance that we're all concerned about just ended. And spoiler alert, I'm sure you can tell from the title of my video that the ordinance actually passed. I'm just a little flabbergasted. I'm kind of wishing I had the last 5 hours of my life back. So yeah, the meeting was 5 hours. I typed up a summary as I was watching the meeting. So the first 2 hours was general Lee County business, and the last 3 hours was concerning the ordinance. And I tend to ramble. So first, I'm just going to read directly from what I typed up, and then I'll probably ramble at the end. So please bear with me and listen, even though I told you the terrible outcome. Let me just get out my thoughts and feelings because I really want the last 5 hours of my life back. So, Lee County's board meeting on September 5th covered the county ordinance that would increase density on Captiva Island and decrease height limitations on Captiva Island. The ordinance covered other building issues for Lee County, but the two main issues that upset everyone are the density and height issues that would be changing on South Seas Resort. The Lee County Planning Department representative made his presentation of the ordinance and why it should be passed. He had a, slideshow. If you believe in that ordinance, he was very good, but I don't believe in the ordinance. Then the issue was opened up for public comment, with Sanibel's mayor being the first to speak. And people spoke. You could speak for 3 minutes at a time, and there was 2.5 hours of public comment. So lots of people spoke. After a workshop and 3 public and answer sessions, the workshop was canceled because of the hurricane last week. The Lee County Planning Department has not changed their mind on the ordinance. They have not changed a single thing about it, even though so much dissent had been expressed at those meetings. And at those meetings, wonderful suggestions on how to change the ordinance to make the general public happy was submitted, but they didn't change a thing. The Lee County Planning Department is a perfect example of the state of the government in today's environment. This is our government, in my opinion. We will listen to you, but we won't change a thing because we know better than you. Your opinions don't matter, but of course you can express them because we believe in freedom of speech. We just pretend to listen because our mind is already made up and nothing you say or do will change that. So yeah, they didn't listen. They're gonna do what they want. But that's just my opinion. So back to public comment. The public came out to speak and had great comments. The South Seas lawyer spoke in favor of the ordinance, of course, but almost everyone else spoke against it. Her comments were just a bunch of brown-nosing comments. She kept going on about how wonderful the building department is and how thoughtful they are. It's just like, just brown-nose a little more. The South Seas also brought in other professionals to speak on why the ordinance is important for the island to survive future hurricanes. I don't believe that. I mean, we all have to rebuild back better for the hurricane standards, but they can do that without this ordinance. They're using it as an excuse. This time, there were actually a couple of residents who spoke in favor of the ordinance, but they were also people who would benefit financially from the ordinance because of businesses they own. So yes, everyone who spoke in favor of the ordinance had a financial incentive. And everyone got to speak. You're supposed to speak on the issue, but one guy did get up and started speaking about artificial intelligence and civil war, and I'm sure he had a point, but I didn't understand what it was. But you know what? It's just an example of freedom of speech, because even the conspiracy theorists got a chance to voice their opinion. Both sides had good points, except Bob Barker. He's the South Seas rep. I mentioned him before. You can kind of tell I don't like him. He had to go on and on about how social media spread misinformation about making South Seas look like the bad guy. South Seas is the bad guy. I still don't like the guy. He's got too much of this attitude, like, I know better than you. As you can tell, I don't like people who think they know better than us. We all have a right to our opinion. He don't know better. He's an employee. He has a financial incentive. David Minch, my favorite Captiva community panel member, pointed out Bob and South Seas' lack of transparency over the last 6 months. This came up because South Seas keeps going on like, oh, we don't have any plans. We know we need a higher height, but we don't know why. We don't have anything planned, but we know we need more density, but we don't know why. They keep saying that. They have no plans. Well, a couple board members mentioned that they've seen plans, But Captiva Community Panel has not seen any plans. So they got plans out there. They're just not sharing them with the Captiva Community Panel. So also, this is just me being a little petty right here. So side note, if you ever attend a Lee County board meeting, be mindful where the cameras are. If you plan to roll your eyes at every comment you don't agree with, perhaps you should make an effort not to sit in the range of the camera, because otherwise I feel like I need to point out your lack of respect. So yeah, there was a lady in the background who kept rolling her eyes, and I'm like, you do realize you're on camera, right? This is, everyone for eternity is going to see your eye rolling. So after 2.5 hours of public comment, the commissioners got to have their comments, and they got to share their comments. And right off the bat, the first guy speaking wants to move the ordinance forward. Commissioner Ruan was the only one who expressed his frustration with the ordinance. Every other commissioner thought the ordinance was wonderful, that change is good, and they are in favor of the ordinance. So that was a little surprising. I thought maybe it'd be like 3-2, but for it to be 4-1 with Ruan being the only one opposed, yeah, Lee County citizens, you need to vote these people out. They don't have your best interests at heart. So what does this mean for the future of Captiva? It means Captiva and Sanibel residents have to pay better attention to every Lee County zoning meeting. They have to be prepared to drive to Fort Myers, attend these meetings, and speak up during public comment. Before South Seas can rebuild anything, they will have to submit these plans to Lee County and the public. Then the public will have an opportunity to express further outrage. Technically, South Seas should be submitting these plans to the Captiva Community Panel, but they have shown in the last 6 months that they could care less about keeping the Captiva Community Panel informed. So by South Seas' past actions, I will assume they will ignore Captiva and go straight to Lee County. So yes, this ordinance is a blow to Sanibel and Captiva, but it is not the end of the world. It just means Sanibel and Captiva board members and citizens and residents have to keep an eagle eye on South Seas to prevent them from overbuilding, prevent them from getting carried away and ruining the atmosphere on Captiva Island. So yes, I am very disappointed in today's meeting. I'm surprised the ordinance passed. I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised, because just listening to like the gossip around the community, the Lee County commissioners, I'm not surprised. So the thing is, South Seas has a lot of support in the Lee County Planning Department. It is the planning department, or the building department, whatever you call it, planning department, building department. They're the ones who put this ordinance forward. They're the ones who refuse to change a single thing. They know someone. South Seas has people in their pocket in the planning department. Oh, this is just my opinion. I need to say, like, legally, just my opinion, just for entertainment purposes. But in my opinion, South Seas knows someone in the building department. It's all about the money. It's all about the tax dollars. And that's unfortunately what the commissioners cared about. And so, yeah, Sanibel and Captiva, they got a hard road in front of them. They're going to have to work hard to prevent all this potential stuff from happening. Yeah. I don't know. I'm still a little surprised. I keep going on like I knew it was going to happen, but I was hoping it wasn't going to happen. It happened, and I'm still digesting it. And I will follow this closely and let you know, like, all the sketchy stuff South Seas is going to try. I mean, but there was plenty of people who like supported them because they worked for South Seas. They want their jobs. They want their money. But they probably don't live on Captiva Island. Let's be realistic. Most employees of South Seas probably don't actually live on the island because they can't afford to live on the island. So anyway, that's just a whole nother tangent. It's already been 9 minutes when I said it was going to be a short update. So I don't know. It sucks. It sucks. This is the government for you. Lately the government sucks all around in Florida, in the US, in every state I can think of. Government's not working for their people lately. So anyway, I'll see you later.